Jason, it's the Freebird Garage, and today we are doing the end play on a new wheel, changing your wheel on the FXR if you have an FXR out there. If you have a 91 and earlier, the end play is completely different from a 92, and that's going from the service manual of 91 to 92 FXR. And the one that we are currently going to be trying to achieve right now is a 0.002 to 0.006. So that's what we're going to find. A couple things we're going to use, of course. I have some shims there, fresh bearings, our mic, and of course, torque wrench. We want to use that as we do the spacing. So you want to torque it down. We'll get more into the full play of that. But first, we're going to assemble the vise in order to check the end play. So of course, you're going to need a vise or some way to achieve your axle. And what we want to do is we're going to place it on here, and then we're going to dry fit everything on there. And your bearings, spacers, everything from the inside out has to be dry fitted in order for this to work. So you got to clean up everything, get it all set, and then you can do it. Because if you have any grease, you're going to have some end play, or you're going to have some misinterpreted end play that you're going to have. So it has to be completely dry fit. That's by the service manual, as well as having these bearings have to be dried out from the oil that it's packed. They want it completely clean. So let's get to assembling this, and we'll get to the end play. Now what we need to do is shim this to get the wheel to be as close, and so we can torque down the top nut for the axle and torque it down to spec in order to check the correct end play. Now, if you're switching from a spoke to a mag, which is popular of course with the FXRs, is these spacers. These come on the 92 and up mags, or late 91 and up. Early 91 and down, there's 3 different axle sizes, and of course if you're switching from the spoke to the mag, you're gonna have a different size spacer. So if you didn't get one, or you need to go, that's how you're gonna find the right size that you need to go with. Luckily, the one that we have right now is a solid axle, and it actually ended up having the same spacer. So we got 2 of those. We're gonna slide the first one on and start spacing this out. Okay, start off with there. Throw our bearing on. There. Do the wheel. So the actual spacer now into the wheel. Making sure it seats well. And it spins. Don't want anything to be locked up, wobbling or anything. Spins perfect. So we're good there. And now we're going to get the spacing, or achieve the spacing that we're looking for. So this one, I'm going to hopefully get 4 spacers, each one being different. And this is one that came with this rim in particular. This one actually came with the bearings, which were replaced, and seals, but we replaced that as well, or in the future we're going to be replacing here. And then this is going to use the original spacers, but we're going to check this. I think I threw one extra one in just in case. And the spacers come in different thicknesses. It's hard to tell from the camera, but measuring it with the mic, I believe this one's at like 0.060. These are at 0.040, 0.020. Then of course we have the most important spacer here. This spacer needs to match up. This top hat area needs to come flat with right there. If it doesn't, you'll destroy a bearing or lock up your wheel, and you'll toast right through it. So you'll have some major problems if you end up doing that, but this is something that, if you, as long as you follow that, you should be good to go. All right, so let's throw the spacers in and see where we land. And also, I take the thickest shim and put it to the outside, so just make kind of like a thick sandwich like that of your shims, putting the thinnest ones in the middle. We'll drop our shims down. Nice and flat. Throw our dry bearing right on top. Now what we need to do is space up to the threads so we can get a proper torque into the wheel. And looks pretty good. Throw a fat washer in there. Original nut. Now in the book for this year, 92 and up wheels, it wants you to be at 50 to 60 foot-pounds right in there. So we're gonna crank it down, torque it to each spec, check the play, and at the final torque position is where we want to see where the final end play is at. So we should have a load right now, which we got 50 foot-pounds. There's 50. We use our micrometer. And we are at, from here to there, so 0.001 every notch. It looks like right there. Yep. At 50 foot-pounds, we're already there. I'm gonna show you guys. All right, we're zeroed there. And it's just gonna move just those 2 notches past. Right there. 0.002, right on the money right there, or a little bit over. So I'm gonna torque this down to 60 pounds and get the final measurement. All right, and now the 60 foot-pound test. All right, the right amount of play at 0.002 and all the way up to 0.006 for the most, but we are at the minimum there at 0.002 is where we want to be. All right, and that's how you do the M play. Very important though, something that if you are just swapping out a rim, take note of. If you're not doing it, then you have a chance of burning up the bearing, having real bad steering problems when you're going down the road. But other than that, pretty simple. Just gotta go in and out with shims. The shims that I had on here were perfect for it. That's how we got the exact measurement that we needed. And of course, pay attention to your shims or your sleeve in between the wheel, because that's gonna make a major difference of trying to find something that you could be chasing a ghost with on a rim that doesn't have the proper sleeve. So that about wraps up for me on this one, guys. I would greatly appreciate if you could hit the subscribe button, tap that like, press that notification, leave a comment below and tell what you think. And for those that have already subscribed, thank you. And as always, stay free. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.